nothing new. Y'all probably heard this before. Probably hear it no telling how many times. But it's in Romans chapter 12. Yeah, that's it. Right. Romans chapter 12. Sometimes we might get different things on our minds.
Yeah, well.
And I was sitting at the house this morning, sitting in the recliner, and different things started getting on my mind. And I just really didn't have a whole lot, to be honest, for today. So I was asking the Lord, what would you want me to talk on today? Still, I just didn't have nothing really. And so I just got my Bible down, flipping through it. I read a little bit here, read a little bit there, and directly I run up on this right here. And this kind of just stuck with me. I'll start at the very beginning. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. People sometimes say that they don't know what to do, or they don't have a lot to do, or whatever. But if you can just do that right there, be holy and acceptable unto the Lord, that's something that's really, really good. And all being holy is living without sin. That's all it is. I wondered this morning when I was sitting at the house, myself included, I ain't leaving me out neither. How many of us can do that day by day, every single day of our life, and do that what the Bible says? Live holy, without sin in your life, none of the time. Me, a lot of times, I can't do that every day. I may say something which might not be real bad, but it just not sound very good. I may hurt somebody's feelings and don't even realize it. Only if the Lord lets me know that I hurt their feelings. Or that person comes to me and tells me that I hurt their feelings. So you can do little things like that, and it might not be nothing real bad, but it just might not sound good. And I'll use myself as an example, and I'll use my wife as an example. Sometimes she may ask me to do something at the house. Ain't nothing big, and a lot of times it won't take just a few minutes, probably. And I'll be tired, I'll be worn out, and sometimes I just, frankly, to be honest, don't want to do it. And I'll kind of lash out, is what I call it. No, I ain't doing that today, I don't feel like it.
Right.
That don't sound very nice, does it?
No, it don't.
But sometimes I do it.
Yeah, we do.
I didn't say nothing ugly. I didn't say no bad word or nothing, but it just didn't sound nice. When I could say it in a different way, and it wouldn't hurt her feelings. By saying that, I may hurt her feelings at times and might not even realize it. See, that's where we need to stop and think before we speak. I told somebody the other day, and I've heard this before, Bible tells us to be slow to speak and swift to hear.
Yeah, that's right.
It says that in the Bible.
That's why I give him 2 ears and 1 mouth, I think, brother.
That's the same thing I told that person, whoever it was I was talking to. It sounds like to me, sometimes we need to listen
Yes,
more than we talking.
yes, thank
And
you,
we
Lord.
might not get in as much trouble
Yes,
with the Lord.
that's exactly right. I agree, brother.
Sometimes
Help him, Lord.
you might not say a whole lot,
Yes,
but it might be how you say it.
exactly. Yes, sir. Come on, brother.
You could tell somebody, you could just say for an example, you might see somebody sometimes that wears clothes on them, and you don't know that might be all they got to wear.
Yeah,
But you might look at your friend or tell somebody that you hang around or something, look at them people, what kind of clothes they got on. They ought not to be wearing that right there. That don't look very nice. But you don't know. That might be all they got to wear, and they might be putting on the best that they have at that time.
yes, yes,
You don't know what kind of life they may have had. You don't know what kind of hardships that they may run upon. You don't know, a week or two ago or a month ago or something like that, they might have had a really nice home, real nice clothes, and their house may have caught on fire. And they lost everything they had. But they had this put up somewhere for some reason or another, for keepsake or sentimental value or whatever, but that might not have got burned in the fire because it was put up somewhere else. And that's all they had to put on at the time. So we need to be careful what we say about people.
yeah.
And I'm not saying y'all go around talking about people, that's not what I'm saying.
Help him, Lord.
I'm just saying that sometimes the way you say things, it may not be nothing really, really bad, but it just might not sound very good when you say it. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Yes, perfect. That's what it is.
I'm gonna give y'all a little example what happened to me. I think last week, if I remember right, at work. And to be honest, if I was like I used to be, I probably would not have a job today. But anyhow, we was at work, we all was working, we was doing what we supposed to be doing. And I walked by this one fella, which he was busy too, I ain't saying he wasn't. Anyhow, I walked by him or something, I don't know if I hit him or bumped into him, anyhow, whatever I was doing. I didn't even think nothing about it. I just went on back over there, and he kinda hollered out and said, "Excuse me." I didn't pay no mind. I didn't know if he was talking to me or somebody. Directly, I turned around, just to see what was going on. He said, "Yeah." He said, "You." He said, "Excuse you." I looked at him, I said, "What are you even talking about?" I said, "What did I do?" And he said it again. I said, "Well, whatever I done," I said, "I'm sorry." And I turned around and went back doing what I was doing. That's all I said to him.
Wow. That's the Lord.
But if I'd been like I used to have been, I know probably I wouldn't have had very few words to say to him, and I probably would have lost my job right there.
Yes.
Sometimes it's good to be quiet and not say nothing and to stir up a hornet's nest. I could have got ill, I could have got angry, which I probably did inside, but I didn't let him know nothing about it or nobody else around me. And the black girl that was standing here close to me, she looked at him, and then she looked back at me, and she just shook her head, like, I don't know what's wrong with him today. And she didn't really say nothing. She just shook her head like she couldn't believe how he was acting. But I didn't act in no way that I shouldn't have. And she probably seen that.
Oh, yeah.
And he probably did too. More than likely. He seen it too, but he just didn't say a whole lot. Sometimes it's better to be quiet.
Yes,
For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. For we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office. So we being many are one body in Christ, and every one member one of another. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, that is prophesied according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministry, or he that teacheth on teaching. Y'all might not know this, but sometimes I have read, and Brother Josh probably knows about this, because sometimes me and him talks. But anyhow, sometimes things come to me about getting up here and talking about it.
Yep.
But it might not be an appropriate time
Yes, well,
to do that.
that's right.
You have to use wisdom,
Yes.
and you have to do what the Lord wants you to do, but yet you have to use wisdom sometimes too.
I agree, brother.
Sometimes you can get right here and you can use that word and you can run people off.
Yep.
If you don't use it in the right way.
Yep. That's right, brother man.
You can use it in a way and it'll cause people to want to come back.
Yes.
Or you can use it in another way and it'll cause people to never want to come back.
Yep.
That's where you have to use wisdom. And that's where you have to let the Lord teach you about these things.
That's right, brother man.
I've learned a lot along the way, and I still don't know a whole lot to what I need to be a knowing. But I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to listen,
That's right.
and I'm trying to grow, and I'm trying to do what the Lord wants me to do.
Yep.
Because I don't want to get ahead of Him. I get ahead of Him and do it within myself. Number one, I'm going to get in trouble with Him. And number two, it ain't going to help nobody if I do it within myself.
That's right.
It won't be a help to nobody. Just be talking, saying something, and in the long run, it ain't going to amount to nothing. It's going to be void. It ain't going to be a help to nobody. But I know, and the Lord knows, that that's not my intentions. Or he that exhorteth on exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence. He that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good.
Yes.
Be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. It be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love.
Yes.
Y'all watch what I do now, okay? Y'all watch me. Y'all see this here? I could do that. I can come over here and do this one. I can come over here and do this one. But if I done that out in public,
Yeah.
a lot of people will say, look yonder, Lee. Everybody be pointing fingers, and the first thing they be thinking about is something bad. 9 times out of 10, that's what people will start thinking right off the bat.
Yes.
But I know different. The Lord knows different. So what does it matter what people think about you?
That's right. So, do
What does it matter? You ain't gonna stand before them on judgment day. You're gonna stand before the Lord on judgment day. And so will they. So what does it matter if people talk about you? Well, man, anybody ever talked about you? Oh yeah. They sure have.
Make that drum.
In front of me, behind my back, and I found out sometimes they say things and I don't even know nothing about it until somebody comes and tells me about it.
Yes.
But they've been off over yonder somewhere talking about me, and I ain't done nothing but try to be good to them.
Yeah.
But yet they talked about me. And when I heard about, it ain't been too long ago, I heard something, and it bothered me. It really bothered me. But the best thing to do is keep on being good to them. Let the good outshine the bad.
That's right, brother.
That's what we're supposed to be doing. Because I'm telling you, whether you live for the Lord or whether you don't, somewhere down the line, somebody's going to talk about you anyway.
Yep. They'll find the man.
Whether you live for the Lord or whether you don't.
Yep.
Because a lot of people, they're going to look at you and they're going to find one thing or another that they don't like about you. And that's the thing that they're going to talk about.
Yes.
So why not live for the Lord and let them talk all they want to?
That's right.
Because it all going to come to an end one day anyhow. And it ain't going to amount to nothing. Then, when they stand before the Lord and the Lord tells them about them things, then they might can tell him, oh no, I didn't do that, I didn't say that. But he knows different. Because he's keeping a record of every little thing he did, good or bad. He's keeping a record. Listen to this next one. Not slothful in business. Fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. That says a lot right there in that one little verse. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. 3 different things right there in that one little verse. 3 different things. How many of us could take that one little verse and apply it to our lives? I can. I can do more than what I've been doing.
Me too, brother.
I can do more than what I've been doing. A lot more. Sometimes it ain't easy to face things in life when they come your way. It ain't easy. It's like that happened at work one day. I didn't ask for that. I didn't want that to happen, but it happened. But to me, if it had been for me to keep my composure, things could have really got stirred up between me and that little fella. As far as I know, we're okay. But we still talking and we still working by each other, and he ain't said nothing else about it, and I ain't either. Now and probably won't. Sometimes it's better to just let stuff die down than it is to stir it all up. And he might not even think nothing else about it, but again, he might always remember what I said to him. He might always remember that. Y'all pray for me.
Yep.
Y'all come on and do your best.
Right.
Let the Lord move on you today. Let him have his way with you.
Thank you.
Y'all